Have you ever answered a late-night online ad and wondered who was really on the other side? In 2009 in Boston, a man named Philip Markoff was living what looked like a perfect life. He was 22 years old, a second-year medical student at Boston University. Clean-cut, polite, engaged to a woman he'd been with for years. Friends described him as intelligent, soft-spoken, driven. The kind of guy you'd trust immediately. But at night, investigators say, he became something else. Back then, Craigslist was different. People used it for apartments, jobs, and sometimes companionship. Women would post ads offering massage services. Some were escorts. Some weren't. It was all anonymous, just email exchanges and hotel room numbers. On April 14, 2009, 25-year-old Julissa Brisman checked into the Marriott Copley Place. She had responded to a client through Craigslist. Security cameras later showed a tall man wearing a baseball cap entering the hotel around 10 p.m. He went to her room. Less than 15 minutes later, a gunshot echoed through the hallway. Police found Julissa on the floor, shot in the chest. There were signs of a struggle. Her wrists had been bound with plastic zip ties. Her hair extensions had been ripped out. The room smelled faintly of gunpowder and perfume. The man in the baseball cap calmly left the hotel. He passed other guests in the lobby. No one stopped him. 3 days earlier, another woman had reported a terrifying encounter. A man answering a Craigslist ad had come to her hotel room, pulled out a gun, tied her up, and robbed her at knife point. She survived and later identified Philip Markoff in a lineup. Police began digging. They traced email accounts used to contact the women. The IP addresses led back to Markoff's apartment. They found a pink-handled revolver hidden inside a hollowed-out medical textbook. Zip ties, rubber gloves. A laptop filled with fake email accounts. When they arrested him on April 20, 2009, he didn't resist. He was pulled over while driving with his fiancée. She had no idea. Imagine sitting in a car next to the person you love and watching police swarm the vehicle with guns drawn. She later said she felt like she didn't know him at all. The media called him the Craigslist Killer. But here's where the story turns even darker. While awaiting trial at the Nashua Street Jail, Markoff was placed on suicide watch. Guards monitored him closely. He was described as calm, almost detached. Then, on August 15, 2010, he was found unresponsive in his cell. He had used a makeshift tool to cut an artery in his ankle. He stuffed toilet paper in his throat, covered his head with a plastic bag. On the wall of his cell, written in what investigators believed was his own blood, were two words: "Megan, I'm sorry." Megan was his fiancée. He died before ever standing trial, which means there was never a courtroom confession. No full explanation, no public unraveling of why. Some psychologists believe he was addicted to the thrill, the double life. A future doctor by day, predator by night. Others believe financial stress may have triggered the robberies. But that doesn't explain the escalation. The gun, the violence, the hunting pattern. He targeted women who were alone in hotel rooms at night. Women who couldn't easily go to police. Women he believed would be invisible, but one survived. And because she did, his face was exposed. Security footage from the Marriott still exists. A grainy image of a man in a baseball cap, walking through a hotel lobby like he belongs there. Calm, ordinary. That's the part that unsettles people the most. He didn't look like a monster. He looked like someone you'd pass on the street. Someone who might sit next to you in class. Someone who might hold a door open and smile. And maybe that's the real horror of the Craigslist Killer. Not just what he did, but how normal he seemed while doing it. To this day, the case changed how people use online platforms. Hotels tightened security. Craigslist shut down its erotic services section soon after. But the internet is still the internet. Anonymous, immediate, trust-based. So the next time you respond to a late-night message from someone you've never met, ask yourself, who's really on the other side of that screen? Do you think he would have killed again if he hadn't been caught? Comment your thoughts below.